Whispers in the ward. In the quiet outskirts of a small town lay an abandoned hospital, its once bustling halls now echoing with silence and shadows. Dr. Jonathan Miller, a renowned surgeon seeking a new challenge, took up the task of reviving this forgotten institution. Little did he know that the hospital held a dark history, shrouded in paranormal mysteries that would soon unravel. Excitement filled Dr. Miller as he explored the decaying building, envisioning the vibrant life that would soon return to its halls. However, warnings from the locals about the hospital's eerie past were dismissed as mere superstitions. Dr. Miller was determined to breathe new life into the facility, regardless of the lingering whispers that echoed in the minds of the townspeople. As renovations began, mysterious shadows danced along the dimly lit corridors. Dr. Miller caught fleeting glimpses of figures disappearing around corners, only to find empty hallways upon investigation. Nurses reported seeing mysterious shapes at the end of deserted corridors, sending shivers down their spines. The whispers started softly, barely audible at first. Dr. Miller dismissed them as the creaking of an old building settling into its new reality. However, the whispers grew louder, evolving into distinct voices calling out his name when there was no one in sight. Nurses reported hearing hushed conversations in empty patient rooms, as if the walls retained the secrets of a bygone era. Lights flickered unpredictably, casting an eerie glow across the hospital's desolate hallways. During critical surgeries, the operating room plunged into darkness, leaving surgeons and staff fumbling for answers in the pitch-black room. Unsettling symbols appeared overnight on the operating room walls, sending a chill through the hearts of those who witnessed the paranormal graffiti. Phantom footsteps echoed through the empty corridors late at night, their source elusive and unseen. Security cameras captured shadowy figures moving in restricted areas, leaving the security staff perplexed. The hospital's haunted history manifested itself, creating an atmosphere of fear and trepidation among those brave enough to venture into its depths. Haunted by the inexplicable occurrences, Dr. Miller found himself facing surgical tools that moved on their own within the operating room. Instruments floated in the air, defying the laws of gravity. Disturbed, he questioned the sanity of his own perception, wondering if the stress of revitalizing the hospital had taken its toll on his mind. Ghostly apparitions appeared at patients' bedsides, causing distress among those seeking medical care. Former hospital staff members materialized in old staff photos, their faces frozen in time. The cold spots, temperature drops, and levitating objects intensified, creating an otherworldly symphony of paranormal activity within the hospital's walls. Mirrors shattered without warning, reflecting distorted images of ghostly figures that seemed to linger in the reflective shards. Electronic malfunctions became commonplace, with hospital equipment failing at critical moments. Computers displayed eerie messages and images, further deepening the mystery that enveloped the once promising medical facility. Unpleasant odors permeated the air, reminiscent of antiseptics and medicinal herbs. Strange smells wafted through the abandoned rooms, as if the very essence of the hospital's traumatic past clung to the walls. Objects vanished and reappeared in unusual places, leaving staff members puzzled and unnerved. Laughter and footsteps of ghostly children echoed through the pediatric ward, their playful presence sending shivers down the spines of anyone who dared to listen. Apparitions of children playing in deserted rooms appeared, their fleeting glimpses adding a layer of sorrow to the haunted hospital's history. Poltergeist activity escalated, with objects violently thrown across rooms and chairs and tables moving on their own. The hospital became a battleground between the living and the spirits trapped within its walls. Dark secrets began to unfold as Dr. Miller delved into the hospital's history, discovering tales of malpractice and untimely deaths that stained its past. Possession took hold of the staff, transforming them into vessels for the malevolent entities that lingered within the hospital. Dr. Miller himself experienced moments of intense aggression and anger, questioning the nature of the forces that sought to manipulate his emotions. Desperate for answers, Dr. Miller sought the help of a paranormal investigator and a priest. Together, they conducted an intense exorcism ritual within the hospital's haunted confines. The air crackled with energy as they attempted to banish the spirits and cleanse the hospital of its otherworldly inhabitants. Temporal distortions plagued the hospital, with staff members reporting time lapses and distorted perceptions. Clocks displayed inconsistent and erratic times, further blurring the line between the past and present. Blood-stained apparitions wandered the halls, their presence leaving an indelible mark on the hospital's tortured history. Psychic mediums attempted to communicate with the lingering spirits through seances and Ouija boards. Hospital records revealed messages from beyond, providing clues to the secrets that bound the spirits to the earthly realm. Mirrors became gateways to another dimension, reflecting alternate versions of reality that defied explanation. In the final confrontation, Dr. Miller faced the malevolent entity responsible for the paranormal activity. A battle of wills ensued as he struggled to banish the spirit and cleanse the hospital of its haunted past. The very fabric of reality seemed to unravel as the forces clashed, leaving Dr. Miller forever changed by the harrowing experience. Redemption and closure came at a cost as Dr. Miller discovered a way to bring peace to the trapped souls. The hospital, now cleansed and purified, reopened under a new name and purpose. Dr. Miller reflected on the haunting, forever changed by the otherworldly forces that had tested the limits of his understanding. The echoes of the haunted hospital's past were silenced, but the scars of the paranormal incidents lingered in the minds of those who had witnessed the supernatural. The once abandoned halls now held the promise of healing and renewal, but the whispers of the past would forever resonate in the collective memory of the haunted institution. Months passed since the paranormal ordeal, and the hospital, now renamed Serenity Memorial, underwent a remarkable transformation. Dr. Miller's commitment to rebuilding the hospital had prevailed over the supernatural forces that once plagued its halls. The community cautiously embraced the revitalized medical facility, its tainted history concealed beneath layers of fresh paint and modern equipment. Despite the outward appearance of normalcy, Dr. Miller couldn't shake the lingering memories of the paranormal incidents. Sleepless nights and vivid dreams brought him face to face with the tortured souls he had encountered during the haunting. The spectral whispers still haunted his waking hours, a constant reminder that the line between the living and the dead was thinner than he ever imagined. The hospital staff, too, bore the emotional scars of the supernatural encounters. Nurses exchanged furtive glances, their shared experiences forging an unspoken bond among them. Security personnel, who had witnessed the strange occurrences captured on surveillance cameras, patrolled the renovated corridors with a heightened sense of vigilance. As Dr. Miller walked through the now bustling hospital, he couldn't shake the feeling that the past still lingered, hidden in the shadows. He found solace in the daily routines of patient care and surgical procedures, hoping that the renewed purpose of the hospital would overshadow its troubled history. Yet, signs of the paranormal persisted. Residual energy, like an indelible stain on the hospital's soul, continued to manifest itself. Staff members reported odd occurrences, flickering lights, phantom footsteps, and mysterious whispers that seemed to defy the logical explanation of a renovated and modernized medical facility. One day, as Dr. Miller reviewed patient records in his office, a chilling breeze swept through the room. The temperature dropped suddenly, and the air felt thick with an otherworldly presence. Startled, he looked up from his paperwork to find the image of a spectral figure in the reflection of his office window, a ghostly reminder of the hospital's haunted past. Determined to confront the lingering spirits, Dr. Miller sought the advice of a renowned psychic medium. The medium, sensing the residual energy that clung to the hospital, guided Dr. Miller through a series of rituals to communicate with the spirits. In a dimly lit room, surrounded by candles and incense, they attempted to make contact with the entities that still wandered the halls. During the séance, the medium channeled the voices of the departed. The spirits spoke of their pain, regrets, and unfulfilled desires. Dr. Miller, torn between skepticism and empathy, listened as the medium conveyed messages from the other side. It became evident that the spirits sought resolution and closure, their spectral presence a consequence of untimely deaths and unresolved trauma. Haunted by a sense of responsibility, Dr. Miller took it upon himself to address the lingering issues of the spirits. With the help of the medium, he organized a memorial service within the hospital, honoring the memories of those who had suffered within its walls. The event aimed to acknowledge the pain of the past, offering a collective catharsis for both the living and the dead. As the hospital staff and townspeople gathered in the atrium, an ethereal calm settled over the once turbulent atmosphere. Dr. Miller spoke heartfelt words, expressing gratitude for the opportunity to heal the wounds of the past. The psychic medium guided the assembly through a ceremony that aimed to release the trapped spirits from their earthly tethers. During the ceremony, a palpable energy filled the air. Witnesses later recounted feeling a profound sense of peace and closure, as if the very essence of the hospital had undergone a transformative purification. A soft, melodic hum, like a distant choir, resonated through the atrium, and those present felt an inexplicable connection to something beyond the realm of the living. In the days that followed, the hospital experienced a newfound tranquility. The paranormal activity ceased, and a sense of serenity settled over the once haunted institution. Dr. Miller, now a reluctant but respected figure in the realm of the paranormal, continued his medical practice with a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness between the physical and spiritual worlds. The renovated hospital, once shrouded in darkness, now stood as a testament to resilience and redemption. Serenity Memorial became a beacon of hope and healing for the community, its halls echoing with the collective strength that had overcome the supernatural forces that once threatened to consume it. As time passed, the haunted incident of Dr. Miller in the hospital became a whispered legend among the locals. Some dismissed it as mere folklore, while others believed in the transcendent power of the human spirit to confront and conquer the unknown. The hospital's dark past had become an integral part of its identity, a reminder that even in the face of spectral adversity, the resilience of the living could triumph over the shadows of the dead. In the wake of the memorial service, Dr. Miller found himself grappling with the aftermath of the paranormal resolution. The once echoing whispers and mysterious shadows were replaced by an eerie calm that pervaded the renovated hospital. His daily routine resumed, yet the specter of the supernatural lingered in the back of his mind. One evening, as Dr. Miller walked through the now quiet corridors, he noticed a subtle change in the hospital atmosphere. The air felt charged with an otherworldly energy, and he sensed a presence nearby. Hesitant but determined, he followed an invisible trail that led him to the hospital's old archives, a neglected area that held the forgotten records of the institution's troubled history. In the dimly lit room, dusty shelves sagged under the weight of ancient documents. Dr. Miller felt compelled to explore the trove of information that had long been buried in neglect. As he sifted through old patient records, yellowed newspaper clippings, and tattered photographs, the room seemed to come alive with the echoes of the past. Hidden among the forgotten documents, Dr. Miller discovered a collection of letters written by former patients and staff. Each letter revealed tales of suffering, injustice, and the desperate cries of those who had endured the hospital's dark history. It became clear that the spirits he had encountered were seeking not only acknowledgement but also justice for the wrongs committed against them. Driven by a newfound sense of purpose, Dr. Miller embarked on a quest to bring closure to the lingering spirits. He reached out to the families of those who had suffered within the hospital's walls, offering apologies and seeking reconciliation for the pain inflicted upon their loved ones. The community, once skeptical, began to recognize the transformative power of acknowledging and rectifying the past. Simultaneously, the hospital's archives became a focal point for unveiling the truth. Dr. Miller, along with a team of historians and investigators, meticulously pieced together the events that had led to the hospital's haunted legacy. The dark secrets of malpractice, mistreatment, and systemic failures were brought to light, challenging the community to confront the uncomfortable truths of its own history. As the truth emerged, the hospital's transformation took on a more profound significance. It became a symbol of redemption not only for the living but also for the departed souls whose voices had long been silenced. The hospital, once a vessel of suffering, had become a platform for healing and reconciliation. In collaboration with local authorities, Dr. Miller spearheaded initiatives to memorialize the victims and ensure that their stories were woven into the fabric of the community's collective memory. Plaques, memorials, and educational programs served as reminders of the painful past, fostering a commitment to compassion, understanding, and the pursuit of justice. The spirits, now acknowledged and validated, seemed to find solace in the community's efforts to rectify the wrongs of the past. Paranormal activities dwindled, and the hospital's atmosphere transformed into one of collective healing. Dr. Miller, once haunted by the ghosts of the hospital, became a beacon of hope for those who had suffered within its walls. The renovated hospital continued to thrive as a center for medical care, education, and community support. Dr. Miller, while forever changed by the paranormal incident, found a renewed sense of purpose in serving not only the physical but also the spiritual needs of the community. His journey through the realms of the supernatural had forged a connection between the living and the dead, a bridge of understanding and compassion. As the years passed, the haunted incident of Dr. Miller in the hospital became a tale passed down through generations. The once abandoned institution, now a symbol of resilience and redemption, stood as a testament to the transformative power of confronting the shadows of the past. The echoes of paranormal activity had faded, replaced by the whispers of gratitude from the spirits who had found peace in the wake of acknowledgement and justice. The hospital's story became a lesson in the importance of facing the haunting truths of history, transcending the boundaries between the seen and the unseen, and embracing the possibility of redemption even in the face of the supernatural. Dr. Jonathan Miller, once a reluctant participant in a spectral drama, had become a guiding light in the ongoing narrative of healing, forgiveness, and the interconnectedness of the living and the departed.